The house was silent, moonlight spilling across the marble floors of the sprawling mansion. Ethan Hayes, tech mogul and single father, tiptoed into the nursery to check on his 5-year-old son, Liam. But what he saw stopped him cold. There, curled up on the hardwood floor beside Liam's bed, was Sophie, the nanny. No blanket. No pillow. Just her arms wrapped around herself for warmth, her breathing soft and rhythmic in sleep. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. This woman had worked 14 hours straight, cared for his son like her own, and hadn't even taken the guest room she was offered. Why? What he did next would change both of their lives forever. The beginning, a man with a wall around his heart. Ethan Hayes wasn't always hard. But after his wife died during childbirth, something in him shattered. He buried himself in his work, built an empire out of code and caffeine, and locked his heart away in a fortress of spreadsheets and boardrooms. He loved his son, Liam, deeply, but he didn't know how to show it. He hired nannies. Many came and went. Too careless. Too cold. Too impatient. Until Sophie. Sophie's story, a heart too big for her own good. Sophie Carter was 28, a trained early childhood educator, and trying to rebuild her life after tragedy. Her fiancé, a firefighter, had died saving others 2 years ago. Since then, she worked quietly, helping children heal while nursing her own wounds. When she came to the Hayes mansion, she wasn't looking for riches. She just wanted peace, and maybe a place where she could be needed again. From day one, she connected with Liam. She played with him, listened to his endless dinosaur facts, and wiped away his tears when he missed his mom, even though he'd never known her. Ethan saw the bond, but he kept his distance. She's just another employee, he told himself. But something inside him stirred every time he saw Liam laugh with her. The night that changed everything. That night, when Ethan found her asleep on the floor, wasn't the first time she'd done it. But it was the first time he noticed. Liam had had nightmares for weeks. Sophie, fearing she'd disturb the father's cold world, stayed with the boy quietly, sleeping near his bed to keep him calm. She hadn't told Ethan. Hadn't asked for praise. She just did it. Seeing her there, selfless, gentle, devoted, shook something loose in Ethan's soul. The next morning, he didn't go to work. He waited for Sophie to wake up. When she did, startled and embarrassed, he asked softly, "Why didn't you sleep in your room?" She hesitated. Liam was scared. "I didn't want to leave him alone." "But the floor?" Ethan asked, confused and almost ashamed. Sophie smiled faintly. "He sleeps better when he knows someone's near." "I don't mind." He said nothing at first. Then, something surprising happened. He brought her breakfast. The shift, 2 lonely hearts. From that day on, Ethan began to notice the little things. How Sophie left sticky notes of encouragement for Liam. How she cooked dinner and made enough for him too, even when he skipped meals. How she talked to Liam about his mother with such tenderness, even though she'd never met her. Ethan began coming home earlier. He started joining them at dinner. Slowly, smiles returned to his face. Laughter came easier. He even started playing Legos with Liam again. And through it all, Sophie stood quietly, never expecting more than a paycheck and a place to heal. But hearts notice hearts, even broken ones. Challenges, trust, guilt, and the past. Still, it wasn't a fairy tale. One evening, Ethan snapped. A stressful board meeting, an angry investor, and Liam's tantrum over broccoli made him lash out, not at Liam, but at Sophie. "This is your job. Can't you even keep him calm for dinner?" The hurt in her eyes was instant, but she didn't yell back. She just nodded, took Liam's hand, and walked away. The silence that night was unbearable. Ethan sat in his office, guilt clawing at him. He realized he hadn't been angry at her, he was terrified. Terrified he was letting himself care again. About her. About them. The next morning, he apologized. Sincerely. Not just words. He admitted he was scared. Of failing as a father. Of falling for someone and losing them again. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. "Me too," she whispered. "I've been scared for a long time. They weren't perfect. But for the first time, they weren't alone in their fear." The turning point, a stormy night. One night, a storm hit, loud thunder, heavy rain. Liam screamed in fear, running into Sophie's arms. She held him, soothing him gently. Ethan stood at the doorway, watching them. And suddenly, he couldn't hold back. He walked over, wrapped his arms around both of them. "I think, we're a family," he whispered. Sophie looked up at him, eyes wide with emotion. "You think so?" she asked, half laughing, half crying. He nodded. "I know so." The shock that went viral. A week later, Sophie went to pick Liam up from preschool, and the teacher handed her a folder with Ethan's name on it. Inside were adoption papers. But not for Liam. They were co-guardian papers. Giving Sophie equal legal rights to Liam's care. And a handwritten note, "You've already given him a mother's love. It's time the world knew." The story leaked through a close friend. Social media went wild. Millionaire gives Nanny equal parental rights to his son. But that wasn't all. 2 months later, a quiet backyard wedding. Just Liam, Ethan, Sophie, and a few tears. And one empty chair, with a flower on it, for Ethan's late wife. The message, "Love finds us where we heal." They didn't plan to fall in love. They didn't expect to become a family. But in the quiet moments, the floor beside a bed, a bowl of soup after a long day, a whispered apology, they found something money couldn't buy. Healing. Home. And hope. So the next time you think you're invisible, remember. Someone might be watching, not just with their eyes, but with their heart.